got the CD player done. That looks killer.
Killer is an understatement.
Classic car, a little bit more classic feel to it. We've got some more upholstery work that's being done to it.
All right, what's up guys? It's Wilson. We're back at the YouTube channel. We've got ourselves a 68 Mustang Fastback, already a beauty, but the client did want some audio upgrades. It had a few things, speakers in it, aftermarket, but the panels weren't done. So he came to us really wanting to bring that whole vision together, get some panels that match the rest of the interior, fabric-wise, wrapping. So it's a super cool project that we've been kind of working with him over the last month or two. So on a lot of these projects, one of the things you guys don't really see is that behind the scenes work that we have to do. So it's doing renderings, mock-ups, fabric choices, where we're going back and forth with the customer until we finally get to a point where they're like, hey, this is what I want. Then we can take that vision, give it to Casey, and he's able to bring it to life exactly to what the customer is looking for. That's exactly what happened with this Mustang. So now that we've got that final design and ideas all together, we've got fabric picked out, now Casey can get to work on it and really start bringing this thing to a really awesome completion. So with that being said, I'm gonna let Casey get into this thing and start showing you guys kind of what it looks like for the build, and then I'll see you guys when it's all done.
All right, we're back. Another build.
Working on a new little project here, Mustang action. We got the interior stripped, as you can see. We're doing a little bit of an audio upgrade, a little bit of beautifying of the panels. We will be running a VXI in this. We've got some speakers in the kick panels. We will have to do some modifications to those just to get these C2 6s by JL to fit nicely in there. Got those rings hot off the press this morning. Those will get bondoed, modified, and then wrapped into the panel itself to kind of flush everything up, make it flow nice. We have the center console stripped. We're going to be adding a CD player to go into his custom auto sounds, retro style radio.
Nice.
With a couple CD slots, you know. We will be doing a little bit of a custom enclosure in the rear just to kind of jazz it up a little bit in the trunk, and the amp will be hidden as well, so it'll be a pretty seamless build, I think. Just got the CD player and CD holder housing printed up. It's going to take about a day. The material that we use is a ABS hybrid, so it takes a little bit longer to print, but it withstands heat, you know, especially in these cars, they get hot. So
rigid.
Yeah, so we've got that being made up right now. We're going to actually take this piece over to our upholstery people. They're going to be doing the center in suede and the outer side and vinyl with a nice red stitching kind of along that. So we'll get that over to them, get them cranking on this while we go and we'll do some more bonding on some stuff. We have to make some little placards that'll be embroidered. That's being outsourced as well to another person, so we're going to get our templates kind of made up for those pieces so they know what size and kind of where we're going to be at with those pieces so we can get those on and wrapped once we're done with our other stuff. So yeah, quite a bit going on. So a lot of outsourcing with materials, you know, really jazz it up and really make it look awesome.
Hey, nice panel.
Hey, thanks, buddy. This is going to be the beauty panel that's going on the subwoofer box. We're actually going to outsource the embroidering that's going to go on this top section here. So we're going to grab the material, get that, and this piece actually sent to her. So she has the ability of like spacing it, you know, getting the correct size and everything. Figured it would just be easier for her to have this. So that'll be kind of a cool little thing that we'll be able to check out. We'll be wrapping it once the embroiderment is done.
And that's going to say what, Mustang?
Yeah, like classic Mustang.
Classic Mustang?
Yeah, so So yeah, we'll
Out of
get
all these
rocking.
jobs, I feel like this one is like, we have a lot of moving pieces.
Yes, there are. It's usually all in-house, but since it's a classic car, a little bit more classic feel to it, we've got some more upholstery work that's being done to it. VXI 700 by 5. So this will give us our 4 channels for our 2 6x9s in the rear and then 2 6 inches up front. Communication ports, so if you're running multiple off of the hub, we've got our controller, the USB that will plug into the computer, optical ins and outs, speaker inputs and subwoofer inputs, and then this is our RCA block, essentially that's where our RCA is plugged in.
All right, so where are we gonna put this thing?
Customer doesn't want to see the amplifier, sadly, even though it's such a good looking amp. That is okay. We're actually going to probably make a plate behind this, main panel, have it go here on the side. We've got plenty of room to mount it like that. We could extend the plate, mount it like that. This isn't really going to ever have to come out. It's an older car to where it doesn't have to be 100% serviceable for other techs because there's really nothing back there other than a fuel pump. We will be adding 2 brackets that will go off of these side wings. That'll just be nut and bolted to kind of hold this all in one place. Super easy to get to if it doesn't need to get serviced.
All right, back, new day.
We got the CD player housing pretty much hot off the press. We're going to be inserting some heat zerks into this trim piece here. This is going to be wrapped and then mounted to this, so then it'll insert into that center console real nicely, come out really clean. We actually got the kick panel fabric sewn and wrapped. Let's go take a look at them.
Dang!
Bam. Added a little bit of padding to it just to add, to help with those contours and everything, sewn in like a little bit of a cone shape to kind of press those in. And I think with the center console, having this material on the top, the red stitching, the seats having the red stitching, it'll come together pretty nicely. And then this is the final piece that came out really nicely for what's going to be on the 6x9 section. This is going to be embroidered with the classic Mustang. We got the other material for the box in today, so we'll hopefully, maybe if we get the embroidered stuff back, get some stitching done for the box.
So we're still waiting on some things, but we got some things back. We thought possibly in the morning that we might not actually be able to really do much. We thought we were still gonna be waiting on some stuff, but we got these back, so we can do this. We can do the CD holder. So we got a couple things we can do today.
We got the kick panels in, their wrapped speakers are in, so progress there. We got the CD player done. That looks killer.
Killer is an understatement.
Thanks, Cody. Appreciate it. When we got some freaking embroidery done.
Let's go.
So this turned out awesome. So next step is going to be wrapping this. Maybe do a little bit of foamage on this guy just to kind of puff it out a little bit to kind of, look similar to a seat and to kind of puff out that, make it a little bit smoother so it's not all wrinkled up.
A little bunched up.
Yeah, it's no problem though. Get this on, get this situated, so then we can get this over to them and then get the other stuff back. So it's a little bit of back and forth stuff. The center console should be done either today or tomorrow morning, and that will be going back in soon. So.
Sweet.
Just wrapped this guy up.
Looks nice.
Yeah, came out good. It's a little dusty right now, but came out good, came out clean. The embroidery looks awesome on here. It looks even better in the trunk. We just got the center console back as well from the guys next door, and that turned out sweet. If you want to step over to my laboratory.
Over to the lab.
Came out awesome. Double stitch was the customer's request. Does look pretty nice. That double stitch is on the seats as well, so we were kind of tying that together with it. This is where the CD player and holder is going to go. Potentially going to maybe work on a shift boot kind of thing for him too to incorporate the double stitching. We'll see if he's about that. And then we got the armrest wrapped as well. Turned out nice. There's a little tub that pops in there. Cup holders, pretty standard chrome to match the chrome. And he will have a spot for some USB charging ports that were already there. He did want to retain those. Turned out pretty awesome.
All right, so we got that piece wrapped up. We got this wrapped up. That's got to go next door.
Yep, to get the other double stitch traced in and put on for the fabric for this piece. I'll kind of line stuff up, make sure I'm happy with the look of this before we do that. Maybe we'll see if I have time to incorporate something in these empty sides just to jazz it up a little bit, emboss it into there. Next step would be getting the center console back in, get the CD player in there, make sure everything's good with that. Then the front end is pretty much done, and then we can work our way back from there. Got the vinyl back from the guys next door with this awesome looking stitch on it. This piece is going to go on here soon. They actually just dropped off our carpet as well. That's got re-seamed to clean it up. That's going to go in the trunk. This is going to go in after that. We did have to do some extra modifications with some fiberglass on this panel. We didn't like the way the first wrap was going. So we chopped off the ribs. We're gonna sew it differently so that it kind of lays a little bit nicer, less wrinkles to it, kind of the way we did the lower kick panel speakers. So that'll come out a little bit better. I think kind of excited to see how that will turn out. Our embossed emblem piece, sorry, embroidered, not embossed, that came out great. So that's actually gonna go and sit right here once this is wrapped, and it'll kind of give it that rear seat kind of cushioned look. I think that came out nice, so stay tuned for stuff going in. Right now we're gonna get the sub unboxed, get that in the enclosure. Pretty excited to see how that'll look in there. We're gonna get the center console in and measure for a shift boot. We talked him into redoing that because the old one didn't look very good, and since we're doing all this work, we don't want to skimp on any areas. So we'll get some measurements for that shifter made up, get this guy in, and maybe get some panels back in this car today.
That's right, let's go.
Yeah, let's do it.
All right, so obviously in 68, Mustangs didn't have great audio. So starting from the front to the back, I'm gonna run you through everything we did on this 68. Head unit has to get replaced, but you wanna keep that classic car look. Perfect option, custom auto sounds. They have radios that look era correct for the Mustang. So this one has the Mustang. It's got the Mustang logo right on the radio, but it still operates like a new age unit. So you have Bluetooth, Seek, all the cool functions that you have from a traditional radio there. He does do CD players, so we actually went ahead and did the custom auto sounds hideaway CD player, but we built it into the center console and gave him some CD holder options. So it comes out really sleek, really clean, matches the rest of the interior that we updated here. Super cool options for the head unit. So as far as the front speakers, we went with two 6.5 JLC2 coaxial speakers. Those are mounted into the kicks. We actually did a little bit of fabrication. Casey did some 3D printing, and then we wrapped them to get a little bit more angle out of those speakers. We needed the depth, as well as we want to kind of get them firing more towards the driver as opposed to just right into the kick. Center console was all black leather. So as we kind of went through this with the customer, he was wanting to bring some more of that suede into it to match. His seats are suede and leather, but the rest of the panels were just basic leather. So we went ahead and did that. So we have the sides are wrapped in the leather to match the seats. And then we went with suede down the center to match the suede on the seats. And then topped it off with a double red stitch seam for all of that. Also added the shifter boot in there to bring that center console to a complete look. In addition, in the center console, we went ahead and added a USB so he can communicate directly with the radio, as well as have charging for any devices that he's got. So to bring that whole suede and leather vibe back, we needed to bring that to the back quarter panels here, all the way wrapping around into the rear wall, which he has 6x9s from JL. Those are also C2s, but we went ahead and did the suede up top, red double stitched, and then black leather below. Kind of gives it this cool two-tone contrast, matches everything, flows extremely well, came out super awesome. We're really happy with the choices there. And then to top it all off, in the rear seat has this little kind of drop down of leather in the suede. We wanted to add that as well to the back piece. So we went ahead and kind of mimicked that, and then we had an embroidery done for classic Mustang. Looks really sweet, looks correct, looks like it's meant to be there, but adds that extra touch of pop to it. And then to top it all off, in the rear, gotta have a subwoofer because no audio system's complete without one. But we wanted a more elegant look. Customer kind of just wanted that back panel to be closed off. And so we kind of went with that and did a beauty board concept here. There is a JL 10TW1 for the subwoofer. That and the speakers are powered by a VX 700x5i and then DSP tuned by Casey. But the front, obviously here we've got the black leather with the red stitching. It's a double stitch to kind of bring that double stitch pattern all the way back here. And then we kind of just went with a cool design that we had mocked up with the customer and talked about. And so Casey built a little beauty panel on top of that houses a subwoofer. And then we got the classic Mustang embroidered in red. So it comes out looking really cool. It's simple, sleek, but it looks great. So that's gonna wrap it up for the audio build on this 68 Mustang. If you guys want to, hit the subscribe button, stay tuned for a bunch of builds, check us out on social, and if you guys are in the market for any type of audio for your vehicle, boat, home, side-by-side, whatever it is, hit us up over at precisionavexperts.com.